Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is JJ Spirit NYC. Happy Monday, everybody. I wanted to talk about something that I've been meaning to talk about it with you guys for a while, but I haven't found I didn't know at that time how to talk about it or how to really format the video. But what I wanted to talk about was my life post getting sober, life post sobriety, life going forward in life now that I've been sober X amount of years, and how it's been, how it was in the beginning. How is it now in terms of how I'm handling life? I mean, prior to me getting sober, I got sober. I tried the first time in 2018, and I was successful. I had it. I was sober for about a year, and then I relapsed. And I got sober in 12-step program. I've mentioned that to you guys before. And I relapsed after a year, went right back into the 12-step program, and now in a few months, God willingly, I'll have 6 years of sobriety off of alcohol and no marijuana. And more recently, I reached my 1 year milestone of no nicotine as well. So getting sober in the beginning, because a program, a fellowship like AA had so many things for me to do: meetings, readings, literature, service commitments, speaking at meetings, making coffee, uh chairing meetings, and there's just so many different things you can do in AA. And I felt like getting sober in the beginning, while it was definitely challenging, I definitely had to share its ups and downs. I mean, it was very difficult, I will say that, but at the same time, I had a big crutch because I had so much to do in AA that it kind of kept me busy. And I see that the whole point of that, it was to keep me busy so that I wasn't focusing so much on the drink, or not drinking or whatever. But as I went along in my recovery, working on myself emotionally, mentally, going through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, definitely unwrapped even more of what was going on inside my heart, inside my head, and more was revealed, like they say. But at some point, I started to get a little frustrated because this even more angry personality started coming out of me, where I'm like angry about everything, upset that I can't drink. And I was very resentful that I couldn't drink anymore, because once I finally had a few years under my belt, I started to question, like, why do I have to be sober? Why complaining, and I was just very discontent, very angry. And it was up and down like that for the first few years. And then where I'm at, where I finally came to the conclusion, 6 months ago, that I didn't want to go to meetings anymore, and I stopped going. That's a whole another topic, but I had that strung from a bunch of different, change of mindset, a bunch of resentments towards certain things in AA, certain people. But I just had a shift in mindset. So where I'm at today, I saw a video from this YouTuber named Trey Rags, and he's a famous YouTuber. He has like a plus mil subs, I think. But he had a video where it's like he was talking about being sober. It was like a comedy skit about being sober, and like the guy in the character was saying that he didn't smoke or he didn't drink, and his boys were all bugging out like, "Yo, you living life on hard mode, man. What the hell? Da 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 da." And I have to admit, I feel like at times living life sober can definitely feel like life is on a difficult mode. It's on a difficulty setting. It's on hard mode, sometimes very hard. And I have to recognize that and be honest with myself that while, of course, my life has changed for the better, of course, I 100% will always agree to the fact that God allowed my life, like turning my life over to God and asking God to help me stay sober these past 5 years, has been more than a blessing. It's been revelation, a miracle. You know, I'm a walking miracle, like they say, you know, and I fully believe that. But I can definitely attest to the fact that being sober has not been a walk in the park. I mean, I will admit that, you know, and a lot of people, I've seen some channels where, and that's where the divide is for me, where I see videos where people are like, oh, my life changed after a few months of being sober. And yes, like I can agree that, like, my experience with getting sober, I guess because of the way that I found sobriety, I feel like I don't hear this story too often, but I basically got sober because, you know, my significant other, you know, I was trying to find help for her, and then through that's how I ended up getting sober myself. So because I went to a meeting with her, supporting her, and eventually, in thinking that I was helping her, I ended up getting help for myself, because I started to identify with the fellow alcoholics and addicts that in their stories, when they talked about how they felt and all these different things, I identify with the feelings and situations like, oh, well, yes, I did that. So I didn't come into recovery like defeated in a way. Like, I walked in clueless, and then I kind of realized that I had a problem, and then wrapping my head around that took a while, which is probably why I relapsed the first time, was because I wasn't entirely sure if I was an alcoholic. But back to like the subject, I mean, you know, sobriety definitely has been a blessing, but at times it could feel like a curse. I will admit that, because sometimes I'll see people enjoying a drink, and there's times where I'll sit there and say to myself, hey, why, you know, I'll question it, like, wouldn't it be nice to like do that one day? Why can't I do that, you know? But yeah, I mean, sobriety is definitely not for the faint of heart. I've always said that. You know, it's not something that you do and you're gonna expect your life to be automatically better. I mean, the white lights, the mini lights, the silver lining in sobriety for me has been, there's been moments where I've been able to experience true fun being sober. And I remember, I'll never forget, like, hanging out with people in recovery, going on sober cruises, and like, you know, like they had like parties on the cruise, and people were like dancing crazy and like having a good time. We're all dancing, and like to go in the bathroom and like and be, because previously I used to be in those settings at a club or a bar, and you go in the bathroom, the bathroom is like a mess, is throw vomit everywhere. And on this sober cruise, I knew everyone was sober. I believed it, because when I went in the bathroom, it was squeaky clean, you know. So moments like that, you know, definitely gave me hope. And I've had plenty of, I mean, I went to a Nas and Wu-Tang concert, which was great. I got to experience them sober. You know, things that I had done before that I thought I had to drink or get high, you know, God has allowed me to do these things sober, and it's a beautiful thing, and I'll never take that for granted, because it is a blessing, and I'll always be grateful for it. But you know, I feel that being sober has also led to me feeling like there definitely can feel like there's a void in my life, in my heart. You know, I have my beautiful family, I have my wife, my son, and I have all these beautiful gifts, you know, but there's still that inner restlessness that I think that can lead to me feeling discontent at times. And while I do know that it's normal to feel like that, you know, it's not something that I'm necessarily afraid that there's a void in my life. I mean, for me, the answer has always been just trying to get closer to my God. And my God is Jesus Christ, and I just try to connect with him on a daily basis. Am I perfect? No, definitely not. I mean, there's times where I've fallen off the beam many times throughout these past few years, where I'm riding high, I'm floating high on the Spirit of my Father, and then there's times where I'm like running on fumes because I'm not communing with my God. I'm not praying, I'm not meditating, you know. So, you know, it's been one heck of a ride, you know, and it's been a beautiful journey. I'll never take that away from what God has given me. I mean, God has given me this beautiful gift, and to anyone out there that, is in that crossroad in their life, where if they feel like, man, am I doing the right thing staying sober? Like, listen, like, you are gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. We're all gonna be okay. We just gotta take it one day at a time, And I've been able to, like, I've been able to go to bars, and I'm an avid Knicks fan, so I've been going to the bars with, like, some of my friends, and we watch the Knicks. We've been watching the Knicks are in the playoffs, so, like, I've been going to bars lately, watching the games, and it's a blessing that today, like, I don't have to, like, be obsessed with, like, people drinking, and, like, like, I don't have to be obsessed with it. Like, people drink around me, and it's okay, and that's the beauty of it. Like, today I can buy a friend a drink. I can buy a drink for him and not have to be like, oh, like, how it sucks that I can't get one. I don't think like that. But it's not all the gist of what I'm saying in this video is, like, if you're someone that's sober and you've decided to make this choice to be sober, just know that it's not an easy journey, but it's also such a rewarding journey. That's the best way for me to put it. It's not easy, but it's so rewarding. And the gifts and the rewards come from doing things that you used to do when you were sober. Doing things that you used to do, when you were drinking, and then doing them now that you're sober. Those are, like, I think the beautiful things. Like, I've been to weddings sober. I've been out at bars sober. I've been hanging out with the guys, like the old guys from back in the day, and and all of it's been sober. Experiencing vacations sober, and going, all these different things. So even though I just mentioned that sobriety is definitely difficult, I will say that I've had a lot of beautiful times as well. And so, to anyone watching this, like, just know that if you've decided to be sober, you made the right choice. If you were struggling and you felt like you needed to make a change, you did the right thing. And just know that, while if you feel like picking up, or you feel like you're gonna stray off the path, I hope, like, watching this video helped you understand that it's gonna be okay, and that you're gonna go through your shares of ups and downs, and with regards to recovery, whether you want to pick up, you don't want to pick up, or not. I've struggled with that so many times, and it even got to a point where I felt like even like I didn't want to be here. I felt suicidal and all that, you know what I mean? But the beauty is that, one day at a time, if I rely on God to guide me throughout this process, to guide me throughout life, then I'll be okay, and I recognize every day, every now and then, I come to that conclusion that, the ultimate answer is God, and God is the ultimate answer to all my problems today. So whenever I'm feeling some type of, discontent or restlessness or irritability, it's because I'm not connected to my God, and I'm not praying, I'm not talking to him like he's right next to me, But, I hope you guys are off to a good start for the Monday. This Monday, I know Mondays are kind of lame, but just know that everything's gonna be okay. I pray for everyone watching this video, whoever's out there. I pray for many blessings to you and your family. If you're trying to get sober, I pray that God allows you, that God sees it fit, and that God blesses you with the beautiful journey of sobriety. Have a great day, guys, and God bless.